passive aggressive behavior, is it ruining your team's morale? Well, we're going to talk about ways to address it wherever you might find yourself being a leader. But before we do, hi, my name is Dr. Kylie Bragdon, and this is...
I am Rebecca Bragdon.
And this is Unmute, where we turn up the volume on modern leadership. So,
let's get into it.
Passive aggressive behavior. We've seen it. We've experienced it.
Yeah.
A time or two.
It's not great.
It's not great. It's not great. And it's something that I feel like as women, there are some women that have PhDs in this behavior. It can, quite frankly, it can really ruin a work environment.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories that stand out?
I have far too many stories that stand out, but I think that wherever you are, whether it's the workplace or in a community, I mean, people are dealt with it all the time. And it creates this silent tension, and all of a sudden it changes your entire mood, personality, the way that you communicate. Like, it changes everything.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we can't get into my stories.
Yeah. So passive aggressive behavior, it really can be a silent killer in the workplace or in a team environment, because it's one of those things that you can kind of see it and you can kind of feel it, but it's not brazen enough to get people to address it or get them to change their behavior. Unlike this one very special species. I'm so excited for the story, everyone. So, there are actual animals in the world who also work in teams, and they demonstrate this behavior in a work setting a little bit differently. Do you want to hear about it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but the octopus.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Only you.
Yes. Our 8-legged friends. I love them. I think they're such beautiful creatures. If you haven't been to the Toronto Zoo, big plug for them right now. They have a beautiful giant.
They are terrifying. They're far too smart. They're just this note.
They are incredibly smart.
They scare me.
They are incredibly smart. We see them open containers. They escape. They do a lot of crazy things. But you know what they do probably better than anything else? They manage behaviors in a team setting really stinking well. Let me tell you about it. So scientists have found recently that octopus will actually fish. They'll hunt in teams with fish. Okay? So you have this collaborative team setting. You're working towards a common goal. Sounds like a workplace, right? Well, this is the funny thing that happens. Here we have this octopus observing the behavior of its peers. Now, when the fish do not perform correctly in this hunting strategy, do you know what the octopus will do?
Tell me.
Chop them. They will karate chop those.
That is not an effective management skill.
But it does dramatically change the behavior of the fish. And now this is something that's been documented time and time and time again. These octopus, they really do have this it's a very quick, almost karate type move that they do.
They roundhouse kick them.
They get the fish to get in line, and all of a sudden the fish will actually perform better, which is astonishing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be clear, everyone, don't misunderstand the story here. Don't misunderstand the story. I'm not.
This is not a permission slip to karate chop your coworkers, peers, or children.
Do not karate chop Karen, even when she's being passive aggressive. But I think there is something to be said about the directness of this communication, right? Of the conflict, but in a way
dealing with it immediately.
Mm-hmm. So what we see in workplaces, in homes, in teams, a lot of times is there's things that happen, and then it's not directly karate chopped. Don't do that physically. It's more of a verbal thing.
Well, I think that it allows resentment to build.
Yeah.
Right? When the small, tiny, whatever thing happens, and it builds up and it builds up, and all of a sudden you're both resenting each other.
Yes. And then that's when the little comments start to slip. The things you kind of, it's like this tiny movement forward, this pulsing just grossness where on both ends it's felt, it's recognized, but it's not addressing the actual core problem. And it's definitely not changing anyone's behavior.
No, it's just toxic.
It's just toxic.
It's
just going to create more negative behaviors.
Yep.
So how do you change it?
Well, you don't karate chops.
You do not karate chop for
But
the final time.
I mean, you have to deal with it directly.
Yeah.
When it happens, right? Like you have to call out the problem, come up with a solution together, and be collaborative about it.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times for people, especially individuals who are maybe in a newer leadership role, the idea of having that conversation, especially if it's between colleagues that you're supervising. Like if some people within your team are not communicating well or being passive aggressive or perhaps aggressive, I don't know. It can be kind of scary to facilitate that or to deal with that. So do we have any tips or tricks that we might be able to provide?
Hit them.
Don't hit them.
No.
No. Hit them with the truth, though.
Hit them with yes, exactly. Hit them with the actual reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think what we're talking about is expectations, right?
Yeah.
I think in any social environment, it's things are going to happen, right? People are going to say things or say too much or say too little. And it's just going to create this thing, right? So just being very clear about what the expectations are. I think that's one really good point.
And being honest.
Yeah.
Just be honest, like show up genuinely as yourself. If you can show up genuinely as yourself in that moment, then you are the kind of leader, that does garner respect and will move forward and will incite growth and change. Nothing will happen if you just leave it alone.
Yes, you've got to.
You have to move forward.
You have to do the action. And I think the last big one is, I think a lot of times people get afraid that they're going to get mad at me.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's always the perception of what do they think of me?
Yeah.
Right.
What are they going to feel about me if I correct this? Oh, I think that's one thing that's really hard for some people to get over. We've got to get over this idea of that we're here as leaders to please people. Am I saying you're going to go and piss everyone off on purpose? No, definitely don't do that either. But there is this happy medium where sometimes your actions, because they're the right actions, they're going to make some people upset.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. What matters is your consistency and follow through and making sure that what you say one day is the same thing you do on the next day. And if you're telling someone like, hey, if we don't communicate like that in this workplace or in this family or in this team, making sure it's the same every single day for every single person.
We say it often. We don't do that in this family unit. We have 3 rules. We're kind, safe, and honest.
Yeah.
Those are our expectations, and everything kind of goes back to that. And I think that you have to be willing to communicate that kind of stuff. And you have to model it. You have to model the behavior. If you are not doing those things, it gives them permission.
Absolutely gives them permission.
Show up as you, show up genuinely, and don't do the thing that they're doing.
Don't do the thing that they're doing. Yeah. Set the expectation and follow it through. Well, there you have it, folks. In a world where perhaps people aren't going to communicate the greatest, don't be like the octopus and karate chop. What you want to do is instead karate chop them with your words. Be clear, be direct, be compassionate, and most importantly, be yourself. Because it's only through that exchange of ideas and expectations can we really have people change.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, until next time, keep being the leader that you are because you were meant to do it.